Welcome to Miss Scarlett. Subscribe and don't miss out on Patreon. Have fun! Trenton stood alone in his mother's bedroom, his heart racing as he gazed at the array of colorful palettes and brushes laid out on the vanity. The sun had just begun to set, casting a warm glow through the window, illuminating the space with a soft, dreamy light. The room was filled with the scent of his mother's perfume, a delicate floral aroma that seemed to embrace him as he ventured further into this secret world. He approached the vanity, his curiosity getting the better of him. He ran his fingers lightly over the velvety, soft brushes, imagining the transformation they could create. With a quick glance over his shoulder to ensure he was still alone, he lifted a fluffy powder brush, feeling its weight in his hand. He closed his eyes, picturing himself as a famous makeup artist about to transform someone's ordinary face into a canvas of extraordinary beauty. Now, this is a key step, he whispered to himself, playing the role of a makeup guru. You want to set your base with a light dusting of powder, especially if you have a darker complexion like mine. He swirled the brush in pretend powder, a thrilled smile spreading across his face. This will help control shine and give you a flawless finish. As he played with the brush, his imagination ran wild, and he saw himself as a confident, glamorous woman, commanding attention wherever she went. But this thrilling fantasy was interrupted by the sudden sound of his mother's voice. "Trenton, honey, are you in here?" His heart leaped into his throat, and he spun around, his face burning with guilt and embarrassment. There, in the doorway, stood his mother, Sienna, an exquisite woman with deep brown eyes and long, dark hair that fell in perfect curls past her shoulders. She was dressed in a simple silk robe, a vision of relaxed elegance, and her face held in curious expression as she took in the scene before her. "Hi, Mom," Trenton managed to croak out, his voice cracking with nerves. "I was just, Sienna's eyes fell on the makeup brushes in her son's hands, and a soft smile played at the corners of her mouth. She stepped into the room, the scent of her perfume growing stronger as she moved closer. "I see," she said gently. "Playing with my makeup, huh?" Trenton's heart pounded in his chest. He felt like a deer caught in headlights, unable to move or speak. Sienna continued, her voice warm and understanding. "It's okay, sweetheart. You don't have to be embarrassed. Makeup is an art, and it's meant to be explored and enjoyed by everyone." She took a few steps forward, stopping just short of the vanity. "In fact," she said, her eyes sparkling with mischief, "I think it's time I gave you a proper lesson." Trenton's eyes widened, and he felt a rush of conflicting emotions. Fear, excitement, relief, and curiosity battled within him. Really, Mom?" he stammered. "You're not mad?" Sienna shook her head, her dark curls bouncing gently. "Not at all, honey. I understand the fascination. Makeup is a wonderful way to express yourself and enhance your natural beauty." She reached out and gently squeezed his shoulder. "And I think it's time we had a little fun together." Trenton's fears melted away, replaced by a surge of love and gratitude for his mother's acceptance. "Okay," he said, his voice steadying. "I'd love that." "Wonderful!" Sienna clapped her hands together, her eyes shining with excitement. "Now, let's get started. First things first." She moved to the vanity and began rummaging through the drawers. "We need to find the right products for your skin type and tone." Trenton watched, transfixed, as his mother pulled out various bottles, compacts, and palettes, laying them out on the vanity with the precision of an artist arranging her paints. "You have beautiful brown skin, just like me," she said, holding up a bottle of foundation. "So, we need to find a shade that matches your complexion perfectly. No one size fits all when it comes to makeup. Okay, Mom, I trust you. Trenton felt a rush of anticipation as his mother began to swirl the foundation onto the back of her hand, testing the color against her skin. Perfect! Sienna exclaimed, holding up the bottle with a victorious smile. Now, let's get that gorgeous face of yours ready for a full glam look. Trenton's heart skipped a beat as his mother began to gently cleanse his face with a soft cloth and a gentle foaming cleanser. The cool fabric and the refreshing scent of the cleanser calmed his nerves, and he relaxed into the chair, closing his eyes as Sienna worked her magic. Now, she said, her voice soft and soothing, we're going to start with a primer. This will create a smooth base for your makeup and help it last all day. She gently massaged the primer into his skin, her touch light and feather soft. Trenton sighed, reveling in the sensation. That feels amazing, Mom, he murmured. I'm glad, sweetheart. Sienna's voice was warm honey. Now let's move on to foundation. This will even out your skin tone and give you a flawless canvas to work with. Trenton Naughty-Ton felt his excitement building as his mother carefully applied the foundation, blending it seamlessly into his skin.
You're a natural at this, Mom,
he said, his eyes flicking to the mirror, eager to see the transformation. Why, thank you, dear. Sienna smiled at his reflection in the mirror. Now, let's add a bit of contour to define those gorgeous cheekbones. As Sienna expertly contoured and highlighted her son's face, Trenton couldn't help but feel a sense of wonder at the transformative power of makeup. It's like you're a whole different person, Mom, he said, his eyes widening at his reflection. That's the beauty of it, sweetheart, Sienna replied, her eyes shining with pride. Makeup is all about enhancing what you already have and playing with different looks. Now, let's add a pop of color with some blush. Trenton watched, fascinated, as Sienna swept a soft pink blush onto his cheeks, giving them a natural-looking flush. There, she said, stepping back to admire her work. You look absolutely stunning. Trenton blushed, his heart warming at his mother's compliment. Thanks, Mom. I feel like $1,000,000. Now for the eyes! Sienna's eyes sparkled with excitement as she reached for a smoky eye palette. This is where we can really have some fun and get creative. Trenton's breath caught in his throat as his mother began to transform his eyes into smoky, sultry works of art. She blended shades of bronze and copper, adding depth and drama to his gaze. Your eyes are like pools of molten metal, she said, her voice full of wonder. Trenton's hands flew to his mouth as he saw the finished look in the mirror. Wow, Mom, he breathed.
I can't believe this is me.
I know, right? Sienna beamed at her son's reaction. Makeup is truly magical. Now, let's finish the look with a bold lip. Trenton's pulse quickened as his mother carefully lined and filled in his lips with a deep berry shade. There, she said, stepping back to admire her handiwork. You are a vision, my dear. Trenton felt like a queen. He rose from the vanity chair, his heart filled with gratitude and a newfound sense of confidence.
Thank you, Mom,
he said, his voice thick with emotion.
I feel incredible.
Sienna's eyes glistened with unshed tears as she pulled her son into a tight embrace. You are so welcome, sweetheart. I'm just glad I could share this with you. She pulled back, her hands resting on his shoulders. Now let's go show the world your new look. Trenton's chest tightened with a mix of excitement and nervousness as he imagined stepping outside and revealing his made-up face to the world.
You're right, Mom,
he said, straightening his shoulders.
I'm ready.
Arm in arm, they left the house, heads held high, embracing the stares and whispers of their small-town neighbors. That night, under the glittering stars, Trenton felt truly seen.
This sure is something.
Trenton laughed, his voice loud and cheerful in the otherwise quiet street. He couldn't hide his glee, feeling his mother's arm squeeze his in response. The warm summer air felt electric as they strolled through the town center. Trenton's eyes flickered with the lights of curious onlookers, shopkeepers, and neighbors who couldn't help but stare at the unusual sight. He held his head high, a proud smile on his face, feeling more confident with each step. "You look stunning, honey," Sienna said, her voice warm and encouraging. "Absolutely stunning. Everyone can see it." Trenton's heart swelled with pride and love for his mother. "Thanks to you, Mom. You're the best teacher I could ask for." As they neared the town square, the gentle hum of conversation from the outdoor dining areas filled the air. A few brave souls approached them, offering compliments and curious smiles. Trenton felt his nervousness slip away, replaced by a sense of empowerment.
You two look fabulous,
called a familiar voice. It was Miss Carter, their friendly neighbor, waving enthusiastically from the bakery window. "New looks suit you both wonderfully." Trenton's smile widened as he and his mother exchanged a proud look.
"Thank you, Miss Carter,"
they chorused, waving back. By the time they reached the square, a small crowd had gathered, their curiosity getting the better of them. Trenton felt like a celebrity, the center of attention, and he stood a little taller, his heart brimming with joy. A cheer went up from the crowd, their whispers transforming into words of support and praise. A group of teenagers snapped photos, their eyes wide with admiration. Trenton felt like he was floating, carried by a wave of acceptance and admiration.
"You did this, Mom,"
he whispered, his eyes shining with unshed tears. "Thank you." Sienna squeezed his hand, her face radiant with happiness. "You did this, Trenton. You embraced your true self, and the world is celebrating with you." In that moment, Trenton felt truly understood and loved. The worrying gazes and whispers of the past were replaced by applause and admiration. It was as if he and his mother had stepped into a new, brighter world, one where their small town had opened its heart to something new. The next morning, Trenton woke up feeling refreshed and revitalized, his heart still buzzing from the events of the previous day. He rolled out of bed, the morning sunlight streaming through his window, and made his way downstairs, a spring in his step. In the kitchen, he found his mother, Sienna, whipping up a batch of her famous blueberry pancakes, the mouth-watering aroma filling the room. She hummed softly to herself, looking radiant in a soft yellow sundress, her hair tied back in a silk scarf. "Good morning, honey," she called, flipping a pancake with a deft twist of her wrist. "Sleep well?" "Amazingly, Mom," Trenton replied, plucking a warm blueberry from the bowl on the counter and popping it into his mouth. "I feel like a new person." Sienna beamed at him, her eyes shining with love and pride. "I'm so glad, sweetheart, and I have an idea to keep that feeling going." Trenton raised an eyebrow, intrigued. "Oh yeah, what's that?" "Well," Sienna began, setting the pancake batter aside and turning to face him fully. "Now that we've explored the world of makeup, I thought we could delve into another aspect of self-expression and transformation." Trenton's interest was piqued. "Really? What did you have in mind?" Sienna's eyes sparkled with excitement. "How do you feel about a little pampering session? A mani-pedi, a new hairstyle, maybe even—" She lowered her voice conspiratorially. "A shaving lesson?" Trenton's eyes widened as the implications sank in. "Are you serious, Mom? You'd do that for me? Sienna laughed, a joyful, carefree sound. Of course, honey. I want you to explore all the wonderful things that make you feel confident and true to yourself. And what better way to continue our journey than with a spa day? Trenton's heart was pounding with anticipation and excitement. That sounds incredible, Mom, he said, his voice filled with gratitude. I'd love to. Wonderful! Sienna clapped her hands together, her eyes sparkling. Let me make a few calls, and we'll get you booked in for a full day of pampering and relaxation. True to her word, Sienna organized a luxurious spa day for Trenton, pulling a few strings to get him in with the best stylists and beauticians in town. The day arrived, and Trenton's nerves buzzed with anticipation as he and his mother entered the elegant spa, the soothing scent of lavender filling their nostrils. The receptionist, a friendly woman with a warm smile, greeted them. Good morning, Sienna Trenton, she said, her voice like a melodic chime. We've been expecting you. Right this way, please. They followed her through the serene lobby, furnished with comfortable sofas and soft lighting, to a row of manicure stations. Trenton felt his tension melt away as he settled into a plush chair, his eyes taking in the elegant decor. Now, Trenton, Sienna said, her voice soft and encouraging. Why don't you go ahead and choose a nail color, something that speaks to you? Trenton's eyes scanned the rainbow of polish options, his heart fluttering with excitement. He had never painted his nails before, and the idea sent a thrill through him. After a moment's deliberation, he selected a bold shade of ruby red. Excellent choice. The manicurist, a stylish young woman with a nose ring, nodded in approval. This color will really pop. As she began shaping and buffing his nails, Trenton chatted excitedly with his mother, telling her about his plans for a new hairstyle, something sleek and sophisticated, and asking her advice on eyebrow shaping. You're really embracing this, sweetheart, Sienna said, her eyes shining with happiness as she sipped a cup of herbal tea. It's wonderful to see, Trenton felt a surge of love and appreciation for his mother. Thanks to you, Mom, he said sincerely. This means the world to me. After the manicure, they moved on to the pedicure station, where Trenton soaked his feet in a whirlpool bath, the warm water soothing his tired soles. The pedicurist, a gentle-voiced woman, massaged his calves and feet with skilled, firm strokes, easing away any lingering tension. Oh, Mom, Trenton sighed, his eyes fluttering closed. This is heavenly. Sienna laughed, a warm, joyful sound. I know, right? We all need a little pampering now and then. Next, it was time for Trenton's hair appointment. He sat in the stylist's chair, his heart pounding with anticipation, as the stylist, a charming man with an artistic flair, draped a cape around his shoulders. So, Trenton, the stylist said, his eyes sparkling with excitement, tell me about this new look you're after. Trenton. Totten took a deep breath, his eyes flicking to his mother, who gave him an encouraging smile. Well, he began, I've always admired those sleek, elegant styles. You know, like old Hollywood glamour. The stylist nodded, his eyes lighting up. I love it. Think smooth, shiny locks with a deep side part. Maybe some soft waves to frame that handsome face of yours. Trenton's pulse quickened as the stylist began snipping, transforming his vision into reality. Locks of his hair tumbled to the floor, and the stylist's fingers worked their magic, creating a sleek, sophisticated style that complemented Trenton's features beautifully. Oh, Mom, Trenton breathed, his hand flying to his new haircut. It's even better than I imagined. Sienna's eyes glistened with unshed tears as she reached out to touch her son's transformed hair. You look so handsome, honey. so debonair. Trenton beamed, his heart overflowing with gratitude and joy. "Thank you, Mom, for everything." The stylist nodded, clearly pleased with his handiwork. "You're very welcome. Now, let's finish up with a smooth shave, shall we?" Trenton's breath caught in his throat as the stylist prepared the warm, foamy lather for shaving. He had always been curious about the art of shaving, and now he was about to experience it firsthand. The straight razor glided smoothly over Trenton's skin, the stylist's sure, steady hand ensuring a close, precise shave. Trenton relaxed into the chair, reveling in the luxurious sensation of the hot towel and the soothing aftershave that followed. "There," the stylist said, stepping back to admire his work. "You look like a whole new man." Trenton's hand flew to his now smooth chin, a wide grin spreading across his face.
"I feel like one too,"
he said, laughter in his voice. "Mom, what do you think?" Sienna's eyes sparkled as she took in her son's transformed appearance. "You look incredibly dapper, Trenton. Sophisticated, yet modern. The shaving really suits you." Trenton's heart swelled with gratitude and pride. "Thanks to you, Mom, for being so supportive and helping me discover all these wonderful things." As the sun began to set, Trenton and Sienna emerged from the spa, refreshed and revitalized. Their steps were light and energetic as they strolled through the town. Trenton couldn't stop smiling as he caught sight of his reflection in shop windows, marveling at his transformed appearance. His sleek new haircut, smooth skin, and bold red nails made him feel like a whole new person, confident, stylish, and unapologetically himself. "You're practically glowing, sweetheart," Sienna said, her arm linked with his as they walked. "I'm so proud of you for embracing your true self." Trenton squeezed her arm affectionately. "I couldn't have done it without you, Mom. Your love and support mean everything to me." Trenton and Sienna found themselves at their favorite ice cream parlor. They settled into a cozy booth, their sundaes piled high with whipped cream and colorful sprinkles. "I never knew how good it could feel to be true to myself," Trenton said, savoring a spoonful of rich chocolate ice cream. "It's like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders." Sienna reached across the table, her hand resting on his. "That's because you're no longer hiding, sweetheart. You're letting your authentic self shine through, and it's a beautiful thing to witness." Trenton's eyes shone with gratitude. "Thank you, Mom, for everything. I couldn't have asked for a more supportive and understanding parent." Sienna's smile was warm and loving. "You're my son, Trenton. I will always love and support you, no matter what. And I'm so incredibly proud of the brave, confident young man you're becoming." As they finished their ice cream, Trenton's mind was already buzzing with ideas for his next steps in self-expression. He wanted to explore fashion, maybe even experiment with some bold, gender-bending looks.
"Mom,"
he said, his voice filled with excitement. "I think I want to go shopping for some new clothes, something that really reflects my style and personality." Sienna's eyes sparkled with enthusiasm. "I think that's a wonderful idea, honey. We can make a day of it. Hit the boutiques, try on different looks, and find pieces that make you feel like the best version of yourself." Trenton's heart raced with anticipation. "That sounds perfect, Mom. I can't wait." As they left the ice cream parlor, arm in arm, Trenton felt a sense of peace and contentment wash over him. For the first time in his life, he felt truly seen, understood, and celebrated for who he was, and with his mother by his side, he knew he could face anything. The next morning, Trenton woke up with a spring in his step, eager to begin their shopping adventure. He bounded down the stairs, the aroma of freshly brewed coffee and sizzling bacon guiding him to the kitchen. "Good morning, my stylish son," Sienna greeted him, her eyes twinkling with excitement. "Ready for our big day?" Trenton grinned, sliding into a chair at the breakfast table. "More than ready, Mom. I barely slept last night. I was so excited." Sienna laughed, setting a plate piled high with fluffy scrambled eggs and crispy bacon in front of him. "I know the feeling, honey. There's something so thrilling about reinventing yourself through fashion." As they ate, they pored over fashion magazines, discussing the latest trends and debating which styles would suit Trenton best. Sienna shared stories of her own fashion experiments in her youth, and Trenton marveled at how fearless and adventurous she had been.
"You've always been an inspiration to me, Mom,"
he said, his voice filled with admiration. "I hope I can be as brave and true to myself as you are." Sienna's eyes softened, and she reached across the table to squeeze his hand. "You already are, sweetheart. More than you know." After breakfast, they set off for the city, the car ride filled with laughter, music, and anticipation. Juan felt like he was embarking on a new chapter in his life, one where he could fully express himself without fear or hesitation. Their first stop was a trendy boutique known for its bold, avant-garde designs. Trenton's eyes widened as they stepped inside, taking in the racks of vibrant, eye-catching clothing. "Wow," he breathed, his fingers skimming over a rack of shimmering, iridescent jackets. "This is incredible!" Sienna grinned, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "Go on, honey. Try something on. Be daring." Trenton took a deep breath, then plucked a shimmering, floor-length gown from the rack. It was a daring choice, but something about the way the fabric caught the light made his heart race with excitement. He slipped into the dressing room, his hands trembling slightly as he unzipped the gown and stepped into it. The fabric felt like liquid silver against his skin, and as he turned to face the mirror, he gasped. The person staring back at him was a vision of elegance and glamour. The gown hugged his figure in all the right places, the plunging neckline and thigh-high slit adding a touch of daring allure. He looked like he had stepped out of a Hollywood red carpet event. "Mom," he called, his voice trembling with emotion. "I think you need to see this." Sienna's gasp of delight when he emerged from the dressing room was all the confirmation he needed. "Oh, Trenton," she breathed, her hands flying to her heart. "You look stunning, absolutely breathtaking." Trenton's eyes shone with unshed tears as he twirled in front of the mirror, the gown swirling around his legs like a shimmering waterfall. "I feel like a different person," he said, his voice filled with wonder. "Like I'm finally seeing myself for who I truly am." Sienna wrapped her arms around him, her eyes glistening with pride and love. "That's because you are, sweetheart. You're embracing your authentic self, and it's a beautiful thing to witness." They spent the rest of the day exploring boutiques and department stores, trying on everything from sleek, tailored suits to flowy, bohemian dresses. Trenton. It felt like he was in a fashion wonderland, each new outfit a thrilling adventure in self-expression. As the sun began to set, they collapsed into a cozy booth at a nearby cafe, their shopping bags piled high beside them. Trenton's face was flushed with excitement, his eyes sparkling with joy. "I can't believe how incredible this day has been," he said, sipping on a frothy cappuccino. "I feel like I've discovered a whole new side of myself." Sienna reached across the table, her hand resting on his. "I'm so proud of you, Trenton, for being brave enough to embrace your truth and express yourself authentically." Trenton. heart swelled with gratitude and love. I couldn't have done it without you, Mom. Your love and support have given me the courage to be myself. As they sat there, sipping their coffees and chatting about their favorite looks of the day, Trenton felt a sense of peace and contentment wash over him. For the first time in his life, he felt truly seen, understood, and celebrated for who he was.
Thanks for watching, my girlies! Be sure to check out Patreon for more!